From the Boston Bruins, we have General Manager Don Sweeney. He'll make an opening statement, and then we'll go to Zoom for questions. Don?
Good morning, everyone. Just obviously want to open with following up on Tuukka Rask's statement this morning that he has decided to leave the NHL playoffs and bubble and had to be back with his family. And we understand completely where Tuukka's coming from. I don't think it's any big surprise to us, to be honest with you. We're privy to information maybe before the rest of the public is, and this has been a difficult decision for Tuukka, but the Boston Bruins are in full support of why he made this decision.
We'll now go to Zoom for a couple questions. We'll start with Matt Porter, Boston Globe.
Don, what kind of indications did Tuukka give you along the way that this might be possible?
Well, Matt, all of our players, we knew this would be a mental challenge, especially players with families. In Tuukka's case, he has a newborn at home, along with 2 other young girls, and he just felt that he needed to be home with them at this particular time. Can't control the timeline of when the playoffs resumed. Give Tuukka a hell of a lot of credit for trying to persevere through this and initiate the process to come up and be with his teammates. It's fun, first and foremost, that's what he wants to do. But the priorities are in the right order, and this is what he has to do at this time.
Next question, Steve Conroy, Boston Herald.
Hi, Don. As you mentioned, he had the newborn at home. Did you have an inkling that this could be a possibility before you guys arrived in Toronto, or did it come to a head in being isolated up there?
Again, he didn't really give us an indication that this would absolutely going to happen. The conversations with all of our players, you saw Steve Kampfer make an early decision. You're seeing players in different sports make family decisions. And during the course of the time up here, it's been increasingly more and more difficult for Tuukka to mentally stay where he needs to be. And ultimately made a decision, that he felt he had to be in a different place. And again, I think we all understand that these are trying times for everybody. NHL's done a fabulous job in protecting the players' health and safety. But the priority for Tuukka at this point in time, and rightfully so, has to be his family, and we support that.
Next question, Chris Johnston, Sportsnet. Moving on, we'll go to Jimmy Murphy.
Hey, Don, how you doing? I just came in at the end of your statement there, but I just wondering, was there any worry about this with Tuukka as I guess the round robin play started? You guys came back and started playing games. Did you sense any of this, or was this sudden?
No, again, the communication with our players is ongoing, knowing and asking how their families at home are doing, trying to be supportive of things that they may need while the players are away. So the communication is again ongoing, and maybe had been building to a point where he felt that that he needed to make the decision now rather than later on. He had been trying to battle through it. Mentally, as we said, this would be a difficult exercise, and again, I don't think I was entirely caught off guard by the ultimate decision, because we had conversations leading up to it. Obviously, you're hopeful. You're only a better team when you have your better players. But we feel very confident. Yaro's been there and was on a ride last year. He knows what this team is capable of, and we're supporting Tuukka's decision at this point in time.
We'll take a few more for Don. Next question, Joe Haggerty, NBC Sports Boston.
Hey, Donnie, without getting into specifics, do you feel like there's anybody else on the team that you have inklings that this might crop up and become an issue as you're moving forward? Or was Tuukka kind of maybe the one that had the strongest reservations you sensed, at this point in time?
Joe, it's a good question. You never know whether or not there's a domino effect in some of these decisions. Everybody's individual situation will be taken as it comes. And again, we'll try and do our best to communicate with the players in case there are things at home that they're concerned about that we may be able to help with. In this case, you're not able to help because Tuukka feels he needs to be there and in support of his own family. So we understand that. I don't expect to, but again, this is a time where you have to roll with whatever comes your way, and I think the players understand that. They'll be ready to go today, and in support of Tuukka leaving, but also Yaro stepping in, and it's a great opportunity for Daniel or Max, if they get the call. So it's always been a next man up mentality, and probably never more so than in this year's playoffs.
Next question, Matt Vitor, Mass Live. Please go ahead. We'll move on to Ken Campbell, Hockey News.
Don, just to be clear, was there a specific family matter that Tuukka needed to attend to, or when he left, was it just because he felt he couldn't stay in the bubble any longer and wanted to be with his family?
Well, fortunately, his family is safe and healthy. But with a newborn and two other young girls, it's been challenging, and for Tuukka as well. And I think that, again, nothing specific. We're fortunate that his family is all healthy, and they're going to have their dad back to be around on a regular basis is exactly what Tuukka needs to do at this point in time.
We'll take two more. Next question, Curtis Rush.
Yeah, hi, Don. When Tuukka mentioned last night about it didn't feel like playoff hockey, did you have a conversation with him after that? And was there a connection between what his comments were last night and the decision to leave today?
No, I mean, again, nothing specific to his direct comments. I think you can rightfully infer that, Tuukka was having some tough time being away in this environment, and nothing against what the NHL has put together and the intensity of the playoffs. This is playoff hockey. I mean, let's make no mistake about it. The stakes are high and the players are invested, and Tuukka in his own right felt that he needed to be elsewhere, and rather than being here in this current situation. And he's the same goaltender that went to the Stanley Cup Finals in a Game 7 last year and taking a team, and he'll be the same player, when we get up and running again next year. But at this point in time, the two aren't related.
And our last question will come from Matt Porter. Matt, do you have a follow-up?
Yeah, thanks. Just a note on Yaro, Don. How prepared was he for this sort of thing? Did he go into this playoffs thinking that he might get the call because of this, specific situation?
Not the specific situation, Matt. Yaro's a pro, and I think over the last 2 years we've been a hockey club that's relied on everybody, and Yaro's been a big part of that. We've split starts. We've really rarely played players back to back. Yaro is mentally and physically ready to step in and assume the role, and obviously we hope that he rises to that challenge. But from the standpoint of knowing that there was always going to be a back-to-back, and then we had another one thrown in there, so I think Yaro was well prepared to have an understanding that it was going to take probably in most situations, and you're seeing a lot of the cases around the league where both goaltenders have been used anyway, even in the initial rounds.
Thank you for your time, Don.
Thanks, everybody.